What's up guys? So this is part 2 in our detailing series. If you didn't catch part 1, scroll down, there's a link in the description. I recommend going ahead and watching that one first and coming back to this one. First video was chemical paint decontamination. For part 2 we're going to be picking up where I left off on my wife's car, trying to make her happy. And we're going to be clay barring the car, which is a form of mechanical paint decontamination. So first step was we did the chemical, which took a lot of industrial fallout and iron out of the pores. Today we're going to be getting surface contaminants. So the first thing is to make sure that you actually need to clay bar your car. And one way you can do that is if you just rub your fingers on the paint, it should feel extremely smooth if it's brand new or really clean paint. If there's any surface contaminants, it's going to feel rough. If you want to be really sure, you can stick your fingers in a baggie, and if you rub that on it, it amplifies your sense of touch on the surface, and so you can feel every little imperfection. Today I'm using Pinnacle clay. There's a lot of good clays on the market. However, I really like this one when all I need is a mild decontamination. It's a lot finer than most other clays, so it's really good for not overly marring the paint when you don't need to. I usually will go with about half of one. Go in one direction just because it is an abrasive. The clay is really mild, but it is an abrasive, so it will cause marring to the paint. And so lines in one direction are always less noticeable than swirl marks. You don't get pressure points if you use the palm of your hand. You also want to do this when your car is not warm, because you'll go through the lube a lot faster. See all that dirt and darkness? If you look at it, you'll see a lot of specks. And so what you want to do is then you go ahead and you just fold the clay over a couple times. Start fresh. So I got the whole car done. As you're wiping it off, I usually use about 1 microfiber per panel and then go get a fresh one. Didn't really show that. And then once I'm done, even though I've been wiping the whole way, I'll usually just give the car a waterless wash, a wipe down. I mean, you can do a full wash too if you want to, but I try to use those pretty sparingly. All right, so I'm all done. You'll notice I didn't spend as much time on the sides. Generally, vertical surfaces don't really have stuff stick to it. Usually the back of the car and by the wheel wells will get some pickup, but mostly it's your horizontal, so your roof, your hood, and then if you have a trunk, stuff like that's usually the worst. Go ahead and do your baggie test again. And it should feel perfectly smooth. If there's any spots you missed, they'll show up rough. Like I noticed there's just a little bit there, so I'm gonna go back and touch that up. So if you can't tell, it's roasting in my garage right now. But that's it for today. There's a few more steps left to get the paint completely done on this thing. So the next time we are gonna be on to polishing. So until then guys.